If you're watching this, I'm officially inviting you to the Calabar Carnival 2022. Yeah, make it a date. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's another video. I know I have been missing in action somehow, like I've been away. This video is going to be about me just gisting you guys how my last week was. I know I didn't put up a video last week because I was very busy. Yes, very busy. So in case you don't know, I don't think I've mentioned it anywhere on this channel, but just in case I haven't mentioned it, I'm sure I've not mentioned it anyway. I actually have an annual spelling bee competition I put together for kids in my community. I know for those of you who live in Abuja, Lagos, or even outside Nigeria, spelling bees are like a common thing. So, but in my community, I'm actually from a very small community. For those of you who don't know, I'm from Oron in Akwa Ibom. There was actually, nothing like a spelling bee that had different schools competing. So I set that up and I have been running it for 3 years now. Oral Spelling Bee 2022 held last week and I was very busy. In fact, I put together the whole event on my own. I know sometimes I always talk about asking for help. I didn't ask for help from anyone. For some reason, I just, decided to do the whole thing on my own. And thankfully, it was successful. But trust me, with enough stress. And I actually recorded a video, but I didn't have the time to edit it or put it up. So I don't even know if I'm still interested in putting the video up because, it was something short, in between my very tight schedule. And let's just see how it goes. I may put it up, I might not put it up. So today's video was supposed to be a vlog, but I kind of just cancelled everything I needed to do today just to sit at home, chill, relax, and try to work. Yes, because I had a lot of work to do, but I kept putting them off because of the event. And now I'm neck deep in work and I don't even know where to start. But anyway, I still have to do something. I have a deadline for Wednesday and I hope I can get through it, plus other things I have to do throughout the week, throughout the weekend and in the upcoming week. The usual Nigerian adulting life here, if you like to, for me to say so. Maybe I should just gist you guys about the spelling bee. So a lot of people keep asking me, how did you come up with the idea of this spelling bee? Of course, I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel here. Like most people in my age grade or even younger, I'm sure a lot of people have watched Aquila and the Bee. Yeah, I watched Aquila and the Bee and it was something that was, I really loved the movie way back, and I was like, oh, I wish somebody put this up for us while we were still in primary school. I would have loved, because as a kid I loved to spell as well as I loved to read. That has just been at the back of my head. So one time I had a cousin who came for holiday and I remember asking her to spell a word and she couldn't spell it. So it just kind of clicked in my head. I'm like, but you're in the class you're in, you're supposed to be, good at these words. In fact, this word is even so small for you. So that one passed. Then I had, another kid one time, we're having a conversation. So the boy was like, oh, that he's so smart in his class. He's the smartest kid in his class. And, just to try to, poke holes in his story, I was like, okay, if you're the smartest kid, spell refrigerator. He missed an alphabet. And I'm like, you say you're the smartest kid in your class, how come you can't spell refrigerator? So at the end of the day, I was like, maybe spelling bee is something I should really do. There had never been a spelling bee competition that had different schools coming together to compete. And I decided to put the spelling bee together. And I was also very intentional about what I did with the spelling bee because I wanted it to be fun. I wanted the kids to have fun. So I had this idea to bring in brands. And I also decided to use this as an opportunity to give to kids like books, school bags, pens, and anything I could lay my hand on. During this year's spelling bee, something very interesting happened. Usually we've never actually given sandals at the spelling bee, but we had this kid who was one of the competitors. He came on stage and his sandals was really terrible. Like he had these very bad sandals, but unknown to my other teammates, I was sitting with my childhood friend, and once she saw the child, she alerted me. She was like, oh, look at that boy, I wish I could, you know, buy him a pair of sandals. Maybe when, you know, we're done at the end of the event, I'll, you know, try figure out a way to get to him and, you know, give him some money. But while the competition was going on, somebody else on the team called me. I was like, look at that boy, his shoes are really bad, can we buy sandals for him? I was like, oh, sure, fine. So we're able to, you know, take out money, and we handed the money over to the boy. I asked him to get himself a pair of shoes. I hope some teacher doesn't get the money, or his parent doesn't, you know, feel that there's a need that supersedes him buying sandals. I wish I was very intentional about, you know, the sandals thing, like by, you know, making sure that he gets the sandals, or maybe I buy the sandals and hand over to him. But anyway, that ship has sailed. But you know, with this spelling bee, the aim was not just to organize the spelling bee, but it was also to, you know, help people here, and they help the kids, you know, kids who didn't have school bags. In my community, a lot of the kids that attend public schools don't have school bags. A lot of them sit on the floor, they don't have desk to sit. I remember going around to give invitation letters, and when I also went back to remind them, I saw kids sitting on the bare floor. And you know, it was sad to me, but I definitely cannot give a desk to every kid that comes to the competition, you know, or the spelling bee. You know, I definitely can't do that. I wanted to achieve that before the spelling bee this year, but I couldn't because the time was so short. So I planned to give every kid that came to the spelling bee a mini dictionary, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to still find a way to get these dictionaries to them in their schools. Yeah, so like I said before, or like I was saying, the spelling bee is not just a spelling bee. The spelling bee is also an avenue to touch the lives of kids, to give, you know, to them things they don't need, to give to them things that they need and things that they lack. So I hope by next year I'll be able to do a lot more, because this year's spelling bee, it was a one-man show. I did everything on my own. I contacted all the sponsors by myself. I went to all the brands that I wanted to come, you know, on that day or give back to the kids by myself. For 2023, I will be delegating duties, and other people would take up roles and all that. Then I'll just be left with, you know, some of the, like, definitely we'll have to share roles. Like, I can't do everything on my own, because our spelling bee at some point is going to be bigger than me, and I hope to hand it over to somebody, because obviously I can't run it forever. Maybe even by next year, because I have so many things to do, so many plans. I hope to even hand it over and probably just overlook the funding, which will be fine, but you know, just make everything easy for everybody else while we're still giving back, showing love to these ones. And you know, there's something I didn't even talk about. A few weeks to the spelling bee, I was bereaved. I lost my uncle, who actually was also, you know, one of the people that used to help me with the spelling bee, and you know, just, you know, give me the mental support here and there that I needed. And we lost him a couple of weeks to the spelling bee, and like I just shut down for a couple of weeks. I didn't do the things that I was meant to do, and at some point I called my brother and I was like, man, I think I'm going to have to postpone the spelling bee for this year. He was like, no, if you postpone it, when would you do it again? You might just end up not doing it this year, and for continuity's sake, I think you should do it regardless. And I kind of, you know, heard what he said, but it wasn't easy. I slowed down completely. At some point I had to move the dates. The first date we had selected and that was approved by the Oral Union president was the 11th of November 2022. But at some point, when, you know, because I had slowed down so much, so I didn't get, you know, a lot of things done, so I needed just a little bit more time, say a week, 6 days. So I went back to them and I was like, please, can we move it to the 17th? And they were like, okay. But unfortunately, I got a call a couple of days later notifying me that that date was unavailable, and I had to now move the spelling bee forward. You know, even when I moved it from the first date, I even regretted. I was like, maybe I should have just done it, because everything was ready. I think I was just mentally not ready, you know. And I remember having a conversation with my late uncle's wife, and she was like, just do it, you know, just do it and everything. And you know, at the end of the day, we still ended up doing, because we had everything ready, you know, everything was ready. The sponsors had come through, the supporters, everything was already ready. Oral spelling bee is like the only competition that has been consistent in recent years in my community, so a lot of kids look forward to it. Even though for me the prize money is not as great as I would have loved it to be, but it's something for, you know, the kids, and they're always excited to come for the spelling bee. Kids were already panicking that the spelling bee was not going to hold. You know, a lot of people were calling me, is the spelling bee going to hold? The kids are worried. You know, I was like, don't worry, the spelling bee is still going to hold. You know, even if I can procrastinate and disappoint myself, but no, I can't disappoint these kids. No way. So I moved it forward, we did it, it was successful, the kids were happy, we had our champions, and that was it. So for next year is definitely going to be, and I'm also very thankful to God that for each year we've had the spelling bee, we have never gone below the bar. We've always had the prize money. We always, you know, made sure that the environment was conducive and the kids always have a great time. And that's what's most important to me, you know, when it comes to this kind of thing. And you know, doing that, somehow I got I was happy I did it, regardless of the fact that I was bereaved. At least, you know, for my uncle's sake, I'm sure he's happy that I still did it, because my uncle definitely was one of those people that did not like excuses. He would definitely not want me to use him as an excuse not to do what I'd already been planning for weeks, because my uncle actually passed suddenly, you know. I was on stage giving the final vote of thanks, and my younger brother, you know, notified me. I was like, let's do a minute of silence for uncle, and we did that. And I was happy that we did that, because if he had not alerted me, obviously I wouldn't have remembered. It would have been something that I would have like remembered later and hoped, you know, or thought somebody should have told me. So I'm thankful for that. We're able to give out the prize money. The kids were happy. We went home. And my uncle, who passed a couple of weeks ago, we're now looking, you know, forward to his funeral, where we'll lay him to rest. And that's been that for, you know, my week, what I've been up to. Let's say this is a mini week life update, or a mini life week update, whatever. I'll be putting up vlogs in the coming weeks. It's easier having a sit down like this. You record a video and you put it out, as opposed to, you know, having your camera everywhere you go, you know, taking clips here and there. I feel like I'm not I haven't properly gotten into the role of vlogging, like being a vlogger. Yeah, vlogging my days would be a very interesting thing, but I've not gotten the hang of it yet. I hope I do that soon, and I'm hoping to also do vlogmas. I don't know how that's going to turn out. I hope to do vlogmas this year. I hope to carry you guys along. This year, I don't know, for the people that know, we're having the Calabar Carnival has been on break for a couple of years now. So this year there's going to be a carnival in Calabar, and I am hoping to be there. Yes, I'm going for the carnival with my friend. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be having so much fun, and I'm hoping to vlog, because carnival, see, if you are in Nigeria, hey, and you don't have anything to do, you don't have any plans for December, please just start buying your tickets, book your hotel rooms in Calabar. Like, let's head. Carnival is going to be lit. I promise you guys, it's going to. If it is not lit, come back to me. I'll pay you your flight ticket and your hotel money. I won't do. Don't try it. But just in case, you don't have what you're doing, you can, you know, make it a date with you know, the Calabar Carnival. Let's go there, let's have fun. You know, it would be interesting. If you're watching this, I'm officially inviting you to the Calabar Carnival 2022. Yeah, make it a date. So with all that being said, I'd like to end this video here. See you guys in my next one. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Bye. Have an amazing weekend.